going down. 18 years and 1 second.
What you just watched are shots from my latest cinematic short film made entirely with Higgsfield AI and Claude, and in this video I'm going to show you exactly how I made every single shot feel alive and cinematic. Think about the last film that genuinely hit you emotionally, the kind that made you feel inspired, heartbroken, like you were actually living through the scene. That feeling doesn't come just from a good idea. It comes from the colors, the camera angles, the storytelling choices. So today you're not just going to learn how to make an AI film, you're going to start thinking and creating AI films like a real director. I'll also share the newest techniques I figured out, ones that save credits and produce pro-level results even if you're starting from zero. Every AI film starts here with the script, and here's why this step matters more than people think. The script tells you exactly which characters, locations and props you need to build. Skip this and you're improvising the whole way through. So I described my idea to Claude and asked it to write a 2-minute script where every shot is 15 seconds max. That's one generation per shot inside Higgsfield. Here's the exact prompt I used. Help me write a script for a short film about a footballer who failed to score a goal in the biggest match of his life. Now he's sitting in a psychologist's office trying to work through it. The hero is 25 years old. He's played football since he was 7 and his whole life he dreamed of becoming a world champion. At the end, after his therapy session, he runs into a little fan who recognizes him. Keep each shot to 15 seconds and keep it about 2 minutes total. We're ready, let's start building. For scene 1, we need 2 characters, our hero Santiago and the therapist. And before anything else, here's a rule that will save you a lot of headaches. Always start with the character sheet. Gray background, 3 angles, front, back, and a separate close-up headshot. This gives the AI a complete picture of what your character looks like from every direction. Here's the prompt I gave Claude. Write me a prompt for a character sheet on a plain gray background featuring a front view, back view, and a separate close-up headshot of a tired-looking 25-year-old Latino man with stubble in a casual outfit. Prompts ready. Now over to Higgsfield. Open Cinema Studio. Create a new project. I'm naming mine Santiago after our hero. Paste in the prompt, select sedans as the model, set aspect ratio to 16:9, resolution 2K and hit generate. This one's out. The left side of his face is too dark and there's glare in the hair. These two are also off. Faces are too dark, this one works. I'm going to lock it. Now I click create element, name it Santiago and save it. This is important. Once something is saved as an element, Claude can reference it by name in every prompt it writes. And the moment you paste that prompt into Higgsfield, the element gets pulled in automatically. Done the same thing for the therapist using the exact same process. Now let's build the location. I'm switching to cinematic locations, and here's another reason. Lighting matters beyond just the characters. It's how you set the mood of the entire shot. You can control it right in the prompt. Specify whether tones are warm or cold, what time of day, what the weather is. The model handles the rest. I'm looking for a therapist's office with warm lighting. So I asked Claude for that prompt with all the details I wanted. All the generations have that depth. That's exactly what we need. Going with this one, assets are ready. Now comes the most important part, generating the actual video. To make the video generation process as clean as possible, I built a custom prompt builder skill in Claude that's loaded with director level logic. It automatically splits a scene into shots, chooses the framing, close-ups, medium shots, wide shots, and picks camera angle, changes the way a real film would. So instead of generic flat footage, you get actual cinematic variety in every generation. Here's how to set it up. Now for video generation, I'm using Sedans 4K inside Higgsfield. It's the most specialized model for realistic detailed cinematic shots, and it gives you the highest quality output. Here's the workflow for scene 1. I drop the script into Claude, attach the saved character assets and describe how I see the first scene shot by shot. I'm going for 2 shots here. In the first, I want a push-in, that slow, creeping camera movement that builds emotional tension. In the second, a tight close-up on Santiago. Notice how the prompt automatically pulls in our elements. That's why we saved them. Okay, a random third chair appeared, a strange pose, flat emotions, bad angles. If all 4 videos in a batch come out wrong, the issue is almost always in the prompt, not the model. So I'm going back to Claude to write more specific movements and emotion. The Dutch angle is a tilted camera shot. It makes the audience feel uneasy, slightly off balance. And if you leave almost no space between the character and the edge of the frame, it instantly makes the hero feel trapped. Directors use this whenever a character is losing control or a situation is spiraling. I am asking Claude to rewrite the prompt with all of this. 3 shots, specific emotions, and the Dutch angle baked in. Now this is what I was looking for. Barely any distance between Santiago and the frame edge. Emotions are reading correctly. This 3rd shot is solid. That's exactly the tension I wanted. Scene 1 is locked. Scene 2 is a flashback. Santiago on the field right before he misses the decisive goal. Same process. Start with the assets. For this scene, we need Santiago in a football kit, a goalkeeper, a stadium location, a football prop. To get Santiago into a kit, I first need to generate the uniform on its own, then put him in it. In Claude, I type, write me a prompt for a vibrant colored prop sheet of a football club uniform. Good result, but I want to change the player number and adjust the logo. For this, I am switching to GPT image 2 and I just type change the logo and swap the number 7 to 23. Now I upload the updated kit alongside Santiago's character sheet to GPT image 2 and type create a character in this uniform, make him clean shaven with neat hair, looking fresh. This way GPT image 2 combines our 2 generations and we get the stadium ready Santiago exactly as we need him. Same workflow for the goalkeeper. Claude for prompts, Higgsfield to generate. Now the location. Key tip here. Whenever you're cutting to a flashback or transitioning to a completely different location, set the color palette in the prompt. I want the stadium dark and cold muted tones because this is a drama and the moment is heavy. And since the football will appear in multiple scenes, I am generating a separate prop sheet for it too, getting the prompt from Claude, running it in GPT image 2. All assets saved as elements. Now for the prompt, I'm attaching everything, plus the last frame from scene 1 where Santiago closes his eyes. This is a match cut. Scene 2 starts from the exact same position, so the transition between scenes feels seamless. This one, the way he warms up before the kick, I love that detail. Grabbing this frame, scene 2 is locked. For scene 3, I asked Claude for a prompt framed as a close-up of Santiago's face. But when I check the results, something's off. Santiago looks like he's sitting in a different space compared to scene 1. Here's a tip that will save you serious time whenever this happens. If you're struggling with character positioning, start the shot with a wide establishing shot. Let C-Dance place everyone in the frame first, then they stay locked for the entire video. I also want to add a close-up of Santiago's hands, shaking, nervous. That kind of physical detail sells the emotion. Let's update the prompt in Claude. This one has hands that look completely realistic, super clean detail. Taking this shot, the emotion in shot 3 is exactly right. You can feel what Santiago is carrying. This is the rising action phase of our story structure. We are revealing the character and the core conflict, dropping the backstory, piling on the drama to hook the audience. Scene 4 is the emotional core, the actual moment of the missed goal. I already have the camera movement set up from earlier, so I give Claude a short description and run it in C-Dance. First batch isn't bad, but it needs more drama. I am adding the speed ramp here, ball flying in slow-mo, then snapping back to full speed. Now I grab the goalkeeper's reaction shot from the earlier flashback footage and stitch everything together. Half the scenes are done. You know the asset workflow, the camera techniques, it gets faster from here. To make scene 5 feel different from what came before, I am adding a transition technique, the whip pan. A whip pan is a fast sideways swing of the camera. It's a classic move for bridging 2 moments in a way that feels energetic. 2 things to know when you write a whip pan into a prompt: give it a duration and label your subject A, B and C so Claude knows who's being panned from and to. This one, he starts speaking before the camera turns, the words repeat, not usable. This one, the transition jumps from a medium shot to a close-up. That breaks the rule of whip pans. The shot has to end on the same type of shot it started on. Medium to medium, wide to wide, that's the one. Scene 6 is a flashback to Santiago as a 7-year-old. New character, new location, new props. For kid Santiago, I attached the adult character sheet to Claude and asked for a prompt that de-ages him to 7 years old with Santiago written on his shirt. This one looks the most like him. I'm going with it. For the location, I want a field in an old Spanish town during the 80s or 90s at golden hour with no people. For the props, I need an old worn football and a homemade cup. Same workflow, prompt from Claude, then generate it in GPT image 2. Notice, I'm not just writing the line, I'm also describing the tone and the pauses in the prompt. That's how you control the emotional delivery. Scene 6 is done, 2 scenes left. Scene 7 is a full dialogue exchange. You know the workflow. Claude for the prompts, Cdance 2.0 for the generation. It's too rushed, too much packed into 15 seconds. And here's a rule any director will tell you: you cannot jump straight into dialogue right after a flashback. There has to be a 1 to 2 second pause. The character needs a moment to come back to the room. So I'm fixing it in 2 ways. First, I'm reusing a shot from the voiceover generation earlier with Santiago sitting quietly. That becomes the pause. Second, I'm splitting the scene into 2 separate prompts so the dialogue has room to breathe. I'm taking this line from this shot and I'm taking this one.
I let him down. 18 years and 1 second.
Final scene. This is the biggest moment in the script. Santiago leaves therapy, a ball rolls up to his feet, and then he meets the young fan. So I'm having Claude write the full prompt first, then splitting it into 3 separate 15-second shots: 8A, 8B, and 8C. Scene 8A. Santiago walks out, a ball rolls up to him. He picks it up and looks around, curious and a little afraid at the same time. I described that to Claude and ran the first batch. The emotion at the end of this one is exactly right. Curious, afraid, locking it. Scene 8, B. Santiago meets the young fan. I made a new character sheet for the kid, running it in Cdance 2.0. Look at the detail in these. That's Cdance 2.0 doing its thing. Almost zero errors on any object. Every take from the first batch is usable. Going with option 3. Scene 8C, the last shot of the film, my favorite generation of the whole project. Now let's stitch every scene together and watch the complete film.
I let him down. 18 years and 1 second.
That feels like a scene out of a real drama film, and the reason it does is because we approached it like directors, not prompt engineers. We mapped the story structure before we opened a single tool. We scripted camera movements deliberately. We planned transitions. We controlled the color palette across every scene to guide the emotion. If this was useful, hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.